This is the Let Us Interrupt You NBA Finals review for last night's Game 4. I'm doing it this morning here on Saturday, June 11th, 2022, which would have been today's episode if I didn't do the episode yesterday. I'm going to say this right now last night. The Celtics had this game won. They had this game won. They lost the third and fourth quarter. I mean, they were down by 1 point heading in the fourth quarter. They had this game pretty much put away at that point. Steph Curry hit some clutch threes in the game last night, was able to put this game away, really. And when it really came down to it, the Boston Celtics, well, they just kept jacking up too many three-pointers. They were down 97-94. They missed a lot of three-pointers towards the end of the game. Derek White airballed a three-pointer of his own. I think Brown at one point airballed a three-pointer of his own as well. Was not a good night. Marcus Smart missed a three. Al Horford was able to drill a three. Then Marcus Smart nailed the last three in that game. I'm not really sure that went through. I'm going to get the play-by-play on that one and just check on that in just a second. Let's take a look right now because they were up as much as by 4 here. Marcus hit a three-pointer, and after that, they did not hit a three-pointer for about a good sequence for about 5 minutes and 15 seconds in this game. Steph Curry put this game away with a three-pointer of his own. I thought this game was all wrapped in hands for Golden State. Al Horford did make the last three, so at that point it was all Golden State. At that point, they were able to pick up the win last night. I'll give you the highlights from this one from start to finish here. Start out with the first quarter right now. Smart gets a 2-point shot. Start to open up the game. Makes it 2-0. Tatum missed 1 and 2 free throws. So they're only up by 1. Golden State gets a lead right back with 2 free throws of their own from Steph Curry. Marcus Smart threw a ball out of bounds, turnover there. Curry missed a three-pointer. Jason Tatum was able to make a three-pointer thanks to the assist of Marcus Smart, made it 6-4. Later on, they're up by 4 again. Tatum one more time with a three-pointer of his own. Bam, 11-4. Later on in that quarter, Wiggins makes a three-pointer of his own from Curry with the assist. Ties the game by 12-12. Jason Tatum gets a 2-point shot round, makes it 14-12. Derek White makes everyone make some free throws, but they get the team up by 4. Wiggins gets a step-back jump shot from 3, makes it a 1-point lead for the Celtics. It's now the Warriors are down by 1, 16-15. Towards the end of the first quarter, after the Celtics are down by 2, Grant Williams makes a three-pointer before the buzzer at 1.4 second. Get the Celtics up by 1 at 28-27. Second quarter really just seems to be the Celtics seem to be in control. They were down by 5. Jaylen Brown was able to get them only down by 2 with a three-pointer of his own, made it 33-31. Jordan Poole makes a 17-foot jump shot, 35-31. Nice little pull-up there from Poole. Brown gets another three-pointer, makes it 35-34, and a foul. Or I believe it's not, or no, was it? It wasn't an and one, right? No. Oh, it was, but Brown missed it. Okay. Steph Curry made a finger roll layup there, 37-34. Pritchard missed a free throw and made the second one. Steph Curry made a 2-point shot. Tatum with a driving layup, made it 39-37. Brown with another driving layup, back-to-back layups there, ties the game at 39 apiece. Wiggins gets a free throw of his gets a 1 free throw in, makes it 40-39. Payton with a 2-point shot. Brown with a layup. Later on, right now, the Celtics got a 3-pointer from Marcus Smart, and they were able to just gain control of this game. Derek White makes a 3-pointer of his own, about 1:08 to go. 52-47. At the half, it was 54-49. I'm going to fast forward here. I'm going to say get down to the right around the midpoint of the third quarter. Brown was driving, gets a 17-foot shot there and one. Brown makes a free throw, makes it a three-point play. The Celtics are up by 6 at that point. Later on in the third quarter, Gary Payton dunks at home right now. Poole with the assist. Al Horford makes a three-pointer, gets a lead right back at 78-76. Steph Curry with a jump, step back, 23-foot three-point shot with 58.5 to go, makes it 79-78. And that's how the third quarter comes to an end. Fourth quarter, Derek White, wide open three, 81-79. Poole makes a jump shot, a pull up, 80, it ties it up at 81. Tatum with a three-point makes it 84-81. Later on, Celtics are up by 4 after Jaylen Brown's 2-point shot. Or actually, I should say they're up by 5 here. Klay Thompson gets a 12-foot 2-point shot there. Makes it 91-88. Wiggins with a shot of his own gets a game down to 1. Smart hits a three-pointer there, makes it 94-90. Wiggins with a shot of his own, makes it 94-92. Klay Thompson makes a 26-foot three with 4 minutes to go, makes it 95-94. Curry with a driving, floating jump shot, makes it 97-94. And Curry puts the game away here with the three-pointer, makes it 194. And after that one, that's all she wrote. Al Horford made the last three, like I said. Bunch of turnovers, missed threes at the end there. Warriors get the win, 107-97. This was not a good night for the Celtics last night. They had a chance to go up 3-1 in this series. This is a weird team. I don't know what it is with this team. It seems like every time they have the momentum on their side, they always choke it in a big clutch situation. Now they got to go back to Golden State, knowing they're down the series, or I should say they're tied now. But they got a little momentum now because they might go down 3-2 if they lose game 5. It's tough. I mean, they get 3 days rest now, which is good. I mean, they had to go back and travel and go play on Sunday. I think they'd be more in trouble, but I don't know. I mean, I have faith in the Celtics in winning this series. Don't get me wrong. I really do. This last night was just no excuse. There were at least 5 or 6 bad possessions in this game. And they allowed a 17-3 run late in the fourth quarter, about 5 minutes and 15 seconds left of the game. All I could say here is that this was ugly. This was an ugly defeat last night. Terrible three-point shooting towards the end. And I just thought at one point, my first thought was there were a lot of open shots in the paint and a lot of and ones you could have taken in there and three-point plays that you could have made your opportunity on. There were a lot of missed free throws last night. The turnovers I don't think were really much of a factor in this game because I think Golden State had a little bit more in the end. It was just the missed free throws and the missed opportunities in the paint late in the fourth quarter that really just put this game to bed. I mean, there was not much there. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's not going to end well when you play a game like that and expect any difference whatsoever. If those threes would have made in that scenario, you change it up. You move on. You're down by 3. If you're down by 1, it's okay. If you only get the lead by 1, it's all right. At that point, you gain a little momentum by going into paint, and then you try the 3. You do like 6 or 7 threes late in the quarter, especially one that gets airballed by Derek White. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was a terrible play last night. Terrible fourth quarter, terrible 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I thought I was rewatching the Eastern Conference Finals from 2018 when it involved the Cavaliers and the Celtics because the exact same thing happened. They went on a run at that point. They tried making so many 3-pointers late in the game where they could have just kept on driving to the hoop and drawing fouls. And instead, they just kept trying to hit threes. And it was just such – I mean, I was dumbfounded by how stupid the Celtics were late in that fourth quarter. And really, I think realistically here, it cost them the big one here because now they got to go back into Game 5 in San Francisco with a lot of momentum and Golden State side here. And I got to tell you right now, this is where the Warriors shine the most, at home. I kind of hope they win Game 5, Boston. I hope they do. I'm a little worried now because of what happened in last night's game. I hope it doesn't happen again. And Udoka needs to address that. This is not the Eastern Conference Finals from 2018. This is not where you need to make 7 attempts at a three-pointer at that point late in the game. You just don't do it. You drive to the hoop, you cause a foul, you try to hit a 3 then and force a foul on them then. It happens in the NBA. I mean, it's rare because normally it happens in college basketball when they actually foul you by accident when you try to shoot 3 and you make the 3. But in this case here, you could have built a lot of momentum up by getting the lead right back, even if it's only by 1. Even if you're only up by 1 at that point. And that's the thing that really gets me, was the fact that that happened last night. I'll give you the box score to see who the leading scorer was last night. Curry was on fire in this game last night, by the way, just FYI. Had 43 points last night, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Wiggins had 17 points, 16 rebounds. He had a double-double last night. So did Curry. 2 assists last night. Otto Porter, 2 points. Draymond Green, once again with 2 points, did nothing for this team. Had 9 rebounds, 8 assists last night. Klay Thompson, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Had a decent night. Not really much to say there about him. Not really blow away. Gary Payton II, Gary Payton Sr.'s son, played last night. 14 points, 6 for 13 shooting last night, 2 for 7 from 3. And Looney had 6 points. I mean, just really, he's a force out there. I mean, if there's one thing about this team I still don't get here, is why they have Wiseman when they have Looney. You know what I mean? Like, why did you even bother drafting Wiseman? People want to look at it and say, oh, they have Wiseman, so they don't have to worry about it. What about Looney? Looney's a force out there, whether people like him a lot. And he had 11 rebounds last night in this game. He's a force. They did not need to have Wiseman on this team. Wiseman, I think, would have been more useful for Memphis, for the Memphis Grizzlies. That would have made more sense because they actually do need a center. I feel like here they're just trying to be like the Milwaukee Bucks here when they don't have to be. So, anyway. Tatum last night had 23 points. Not a great night shooting for him, but he was able to be 4 for 8 from 3. He had 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Al Horford had 8 points last night, 6 rebounds, 4 assists last night. Robert Williams had 7 points last night in 31 minutes of action and was 3 for 3 in this game. They could have used him a lot more in this fourth quarter. I'm just being honest here. He had no fouls last night. I don't know why he really wasn't on the floor late in the game. I didn't really see him a lot. He didn't seem like he was there. Marcus Smart had 40 minutes in the game, 7 for 18, 3 for 9 from 3, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And Jaylen Brown had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 9 for 19 for 3 from the field, 2 from 6 overall from 3. Derek White in this game, 4 for 12, ugly performance, but he had 16 points, 3 for 5 from 3. Grant Williams was 1 for 2 from 3. The only 3 he made in the game was late in the first quarter. I don't think he really saw that much action afterward anyway. He had 4 fouls last night. But anyway, the Celtics last night really was better in the three-point shooting range, just not good enough in the paint. They only made 34 shots last night. The Warriors made 40 last night. They were as far as the we can get to all stats here. Let's get to the rebound part of it. They were able to out-rebound. I get the exact same stats here. They were actually out-rebounded by the Warriors. It's 55 to 42. As far as the turnovers go, Warriors had 16 turnovers. The Celtics, I believe, had 15. So not that bad there. They had, let's see, Warriors had 5 blocks. The Celtics, I believe, had 6. Robert Williams can account for most of those blocks. He was a man last night. He was the man last night when it came to defensive play. And I got to be honest here. If he could play for 30 minutes last night and have 7 points last night, he could have gone in there for about 40 minutes. He seemed fine for me. He got better quickly than Kevin Garnett did when he had a messed up knee. I mean, I'm just being honest last night. They could have used him more on the floor late in the fourth quarter last night, and it's too bad they didn't use him enough in this game. It's kind of shameful. I'm going to give you the baseball scores from last night, and I'm just going to basically just sign off here. I didn't put that in the recap, the description for the video, but there wasn't baseball on last night, so I'll give you the scores on that one, and I'm going to head off here. The Yankees played the Cubs last night. They won in 13 innings last night, 2-1. It was Trevino who had a walk-off single that allowed Gallo to score. That's basically how this game came to an end. Torres and Hayward had home runs last night for each of the clubs last night. Yankees now improved to 42-16, while the Cubs dropped to 23-34. The Red Sox beat the Mariners last night in Seattle, 4-3. They now improved to 31-28. JD Martinez and Dalbec both homered last night. Bogarts doubled to right field to open up the game. Martinez hit a solo shot to left center. Winker had a 2-run shot for the Mariners, made it 2-2. Dalbec had a home run as well into left field there. Martinez grounded into a double play, which allowed Rensford to score, and Devers were already out at second base. Riley scored late for Seattle, but wasn't enough. Rest of the scores here. Giants beat the Dodgers last night 7-2. Philadelphia Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 7-5. The Nationals beat the Brewers 11-5. The Guardians beat the Oakland Athletics last night 3-2. The Blue Jays go to Detroit and beat the Tigers 10-1. The Atlanta Braves beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-2. The Kansas City Royals beat the Baltimore Orioles 8-1. The Miami Marlins went into Houston last night and beat the Houston Astros 7-4. Rare loss for them to a really bad team like the Marlins. Minnesota Twins beat the Tampa Bay Rays last night 9-4. Chicago White Sox beat the Texas Rangers 8-3. Cardinals shut out the Reds 2-0. The New York Mets beat the Los Angeles Angels 7-3 as it seems like their losing streak did end last night, but unfortunately they lost again last night. It seemed like it was ending in the beginning, but it didn't happen. And the Padres shut out the Rockies last night 9-0. And that's really about it. The Mets scoring last night, they improved to 39-21. The Angels dropped at 28-32. And the Mets in this game just had this game put away by the fourth inning when Nemo hit the solo shut the right center. Marsh hit a 2-run shut the right center field. Not much to say about Ohtani last night. He went 1 for 4 last night. As once again, Mike Trout did not play in this game last night. I believe Mike Trout might be on the IL. I don't even know. Might be on the injury list. I'll have to look that up later on in the week. But that happened there. As far as the Marlins go, I'll give you what happened with the Marlins last night because this actually kind of surprised me too. When the Marlins beat the Astros last night in Houston, Chisholm Jr. had a home run to right center solo shot. Aguilar hit a homer as well to left field, made it 2-0. Michael Brantley hit a homer to right center field solo shot, made it 2-1. Chisholm Jr. again hit a home run again. Aguilar also hit a homer again, made it 6-1. Alvarez single to right field, which allowed Brantley to score. Tucker grounded into a fielder's choice, which allowed Berkman to score. Rojas hit a sacrifice fly to right field, and Tucker hit a homer to right center, or actually to right field itself. A solo shot, made it 7-4, and that's all she wrote. As the Houston Nationals dropped down to 36-22. Really random loss last night. Blue Jays last night, how they did the scores right now. I'm not gonna give you all the highlights for everybody how they scored last night. But this is my last one here. Bichette doubled to left field right now, which allowed Springer to score. Kirk doubled to deep right field, which allowed Bichette to score. Gurriel Jr. hit a homer to left field in the second inning, made it 3-0. Springer had a 2-run shot, which allowed Biggle to score to left field as well, made it 5-0. Bichette had a home run, made it 6-0. Espinal singled to right field, which allowed Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to score in the fifth inning. Guerrero Jr. again doubled to left field, which allowed Kirk to score. Espinal went to third. Guerrero Jr. Doubled to deep left field, which allowed Springer to score in the sixth inning, made it 9-0. And Kirk singled to right center field, allowed Guerrero Jr. to score. Catcher had a sacrifice fly with the Tigers, made the game 10-1. So it was all Blue Jays. They dominated. They did what they needed to do. I believe they're now 34-23. And that's pretty much it. The Dodgers last night, they kind of came out flat. Ruff had 2 home runs, wins a third straight as the Giants beat LA. This was basically just Ruff last night, just hitting the ball out of the park to deep left field, and Lux had a homer for the Dodgers. And after that, when Ruff had a go-ahead 5-point lead for the Giants last night, as they won 7-2. They improved to 31-26. Let's take a look at the standings right now at this point with the NL West at this point. Very interesting standings at this point. Padres are only 1 game back, by the way. They're 36-22 as they shut out the Rockies last night, 9-0. They are now 25-33. The Rockies, as the Diamondbacks are in 4th place. So it seems like everybody right now at this point, it's not 4 teams anymore now that actually have the first place, above 500 record here. The Giants are not that far above 500. They're only 5 games above 500. The Padres are 36-22, which this has been surprising here. They're 20-11 on the road. And they're not that far back from the Dodgers. I think by the end of this week, the Dodgers might be out of first place. I'm predicting the Rockies get swept at home on the road in San Diego. San Diego takes over first place for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. And you got Tatis Jr. coming back at the right time when you're in first place. So if you want to go into the All-Star break with the first place, unless he doesn't come back at all. If I find out he doesn't come back at all right now, let's get the Padres might have actually give the Padres a better shot because it's not a distraction. There's no drama. There's no heat between Machado and Tatis like it was late last year. So for the Padres' sake, I mean, at this point, if they can continue momentum without Tatis, this gives them an excuse to get rid of them. It's less money on the deal right now. They don't have to worry about Machado's contract. So, yeah. Not that I hope he doesn't play baseball ever again, but, I mean, if he plays somewhere else, it wouldn't be such a big deal. I'll give you the rest of the standings right now. In the AL East right now, it seems like the Yankees have a really secure lead in first place. They're up 7.5 games over Toronto, which they're 34-23. The Rays are 34-24. The Red Sox are 31-28. The Orioles are 24-35. Could be possibly their last season in part of the American League East. If you didn't hear on my podcast, they were planning to move to Tennessee a few years back. Was able to digest that story just a little bit. I think the move to Tennessee would be good for this team just because it gets them out of that East division. I mean, and you put them in the Central, which makes it 6 teams back in that division again. I don't think it's that much of a big deal, honestly. I think it'd be an interesting story, honestly, coming out of this whole thing. Or they move to the AL West and they have 6 teams in the AL West. I don't know. Because really you have Texas in there, which, I mean, they're not really a West division team. So I don't know why they're even in the AL West anyway. But anyway, the Twins are 34-26 in the Central. 28-26 are the Cleveland Guardians. They're only 2 games above 500. The White Sox dropped the third place at 27-29. Detroit Tigers are 23-34, and the Royals are 20-37 in dead last. As far as the AL West goes, Astros are 36-22. The Angels are 28-32. The Texas Rangers are 26-31. The Mariners are 26-32, and the Oakland A's are 20-40. NL East, and I'll just wrap it up with the Central there. Mets are 39-21. The Braves are 32-27. The Phillies are 29-29. The Marlins are 26-30. The Nationals are 22-38. They are not a good team at all. Even with Strasburg back, they're not a good team. NL Central, I'll just wrap it up with that. Cardinals are 33-26. The Brewers are 33-27. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 24-32. The Red Cubs are 23-34. And the Cincinnati Reds are 20-38. So that's that. That's the post wrap there with that. I covered baseball. Game 6 of the New York Rangers and Tampa Bay Lightning are on tonight, I believe. They are back in Tampa Bay. I said the series was over with because of the dead energy last night at Madison Square Garden. Unless they can prove me wrong. I mean, I still have the Rangers going to the Stanley Cup final, and that's what my heart's telling me. But I think my brain's telling me right now that this series is over with, and I think Tampa Bay might put this game away tonight because they haven't won a game in Tampa Bay yet. So that's the thing. There's going to be a big, giant collapse right now for the Rangers, as far as I know. Game 5 of the NBA Finals will be on Monday at 9 Eastern time in Golden State, in San Francisco. That pretty much seals the deal there. It's on ABC, on ESPN. Both coverages on there. The pregame is on at 8:30. Other than that, I'm signing off. I will recap the NBA Finals on episode 54 and let us interrupt you on Tuesday. Mike will be back. I usually do these post wraps by myself. If Mike's free, he'll do it with me. In this case here, I just do this one mainly by myself because, well, I just want to give people some statistics, some information, just some other story stuff if it's breaking news on the fly. Sometimes I might just give you a random breaking news story when I get a chance to do these wraps here. This will do it. My social media is on the bottom of the description. I'll see you all on Tuesday. Bye.